share, we can share a little bit. Okay, it's 8 p.m. European time, 7 p.m. Gambian time. Good evening and welcome to another scintillating edition of the Fan Zone. I'm your host, BS Camara, host, and then we have Mr. Alpha Jallo from the TMT Football Club. But I know because the conversation be then because then I'm date one of our, one of us more ganyu tay si sport industry bi so ñu ko bëgg sigil, you can say one or two things, regarding to date buñ am tay Gambia in terms of this sport. I know even though mun na amuloo ko personal level, why, perhaps I'm getting some relation in terms of sport have you. Alpha,
are you talking to me, base?
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. First of all, Malena Nubu Bahaba, Kontana Torop, I'm very proud and elated to be part of this platform. Bohane Yaganenko Bahel, and then some of the excerpts and interviews interesting you have Momgen Am. But before my gonna elaborate more, then you wa inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. Sikena ko xamantene su ñun la bokon. Muy Pabaro. Man personally, I have personal relationship with him. Just last week, rek la joge Wahamum Kolko with regards to KM third division qualifiers. Ñu waxtaan at length, and then there are series of events yoo xamante ne ni am nañ ko yoo xamante ne ni we spoke about it at length, and then fuñ gis rek respect ak love moo fa dee daw because man yoo excellent rek laa ko dee ooyee ñu toog waxtaan lu bari. Just last month tamit I was at his workplace doon am process yi ma doon def ñu waxtaan at length moom ak Del. So it's very sad seeing just yesterday rek mu ngi toogoon ci campé bi fële na le, and then suddenly over the night dañ war a wake up with this sad news. So obviously it's another big blow to the journalist fraternity as a whole. Lu ñoo mën a def rek mooy ñu ñaanal ko yàlla yërëm ko te xaare ko aljana. Liñ ko mën a seede rek xam na ne julit la woon, bu baax la woon. He was very dedicated in his work as well. That's why he holds so many portfolios yoo xamante ne ni it's really passion driven. See program yi they all the time at radio, but at the same time content yoo xamante ne tam mi ko doon am si region boo xam ne man moom laa bokk muy KM. We have seen the tremendous work as a PR and as a media officer. Lim fa doon def previously tamit with Hawks. So his entire life daf ko dedicate ci li nga xamante ne mooy sports, most especially with football. People don't know that, but sometimes tamit suñ amoon yeneen event yu mel ni wrestling ak yooyu dañ ko si daan mën a invite wala moom daf ñu daan mën a invite dañ ci daan ñëw ñu waxtaan si at length. So which means ne dañ koo jaalee sporting fraternity bi yëpp di wax ne rek loolu lañ mën a am si moom gën koo ñaanal yàlla yërëm ko te xaare ko aljana.
Amin waay, amin. Alasan.
Yeah, it's dafa daw yaram torop, because ñun yëpp I don't really know him on a personal level because man time ma doon génn Gambia I don't think meet naa ko or xamoon naa ko daal. So why it doesn't really matter because this loss is everyone's loss. This loss is like the Gambia's loss. But when you think about the circumstances, I saw the video that Oscar put on Facebook yesterday that they were, sitting together and having fun, just last night. The difference is we went to bed together, but the difference is we woke up, but he never did. So it's not because that's the reason why we woke up and he didn't. No, it's just come time on mojot, right? And it's very sad. We as human beings, we sit and we think that we have so much of time. Okay, maybe that job I'm gonna apply tomorrow. This, thing I have to do today, I will have to do it tomorrow. But at the end of the day, we are not guaranteed, tomorrow. The lead of gonna firnde, lead of gonna wahne, whatever you have to do, please do it today. You don't have to wait for tomorrow because it's not a guarantee. I have seen and I have heard, a lot of types of, deaths that have absolutely scared me. But at the end of the day, you just nyanal ko, yalla hare ko ajana, and then, the family must be going through a lot. Those are the kind of people that we have to think about the most, in this situation. This guy is a very young guy. I don't really know how old he was, but he's a very, very, very young guy. Probably a breadwinner for the family. So man ko naharlu bepare man ko jale tamit wajurami ak kepa ko hamne sport journalist nga in Gambia and even Gambia as a whole, because when a young man dies, it's the country that definitely loses. So yeah, I have seen a lot of downpour on Facebook, and it shows the kind of a man that he was. Because we when a good person passes away, we get into Facebook, all we see and all we hear is just the love shared by the people. So this one also is no different. He will be missed, of course, and we just hope and pray that the family would be able to bear this loss, because it's just a devastation that no parent have to go through. So yeah, ñu jaale rek ñu ñaan yàlla xare ko àjjana daal.
Wow, Alassane, thank you very much. The committee. How many Alpha? We lost Alpha.
Is Alpha gone or he's coming back?
Perhaps he's receiving calls. Yeah, Lola, man tell me, Papa, I don't know at any personal level why. It's sad. It's sad.
Yeah,
Guys,
no, it's very sad. It's very sad. It's really very sad for everybody that knows him, everybody that is connected to him. So we just hope that
okay,
all the friends and the family will bear the loss in a good way.
Okay, Alpha.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so let's start the program. Can you please introduce yourself to viewers on Facebook, YouTube, and our listeners via 716.1?
Okay, my name is Momodu Alpha Jallo. I am a specialized in sports journalism. Yes, Nekanasi since around 2010, 11, 12 upwards. I'm proud enough to say, yes, my Alassane, second time will come like paradise, because I was one of the people that substituted him. He was so good that to the extent, they needed two people to substitute him alone. So man ak Babakar, man ak Babakar nani sila won. And then yes, I strive to a lot of radio stations, media houses. Then Paradise Mom Amna Falu Tolusi 8 years. I ventured into sport administration because I'm a committee member at Serekunda West. Also, somehow I was a wrestling administrator as well when it comes to the KM region, and then EU supported project Mohammed Amonafi. I was the admin secretary. Now, officially, I'm the assistant secretary general of TMT Football Club. So, in brief, Kokomoy Alpha.
Okay, thank you very much. For the context of today's program, dañoo focus on TMT. So, can you take us through TMT? Naka la ñëwee, who is behind TMT, success stories?
Yeah, I'm not solo Bahaba. I think it's a very interesting question. I think TMT just started 5 years ago, around 2020. Omar H. Osedekan, he's the CEO at the same time the president of the club. He has this vision of helping out Gambian footballers in general. But before TMT said register bopam the third division be through Banjul, I will come through that. Dafa amon TMT, it was like an academy. Boo xamante ne ni Omar H. Osedekan as the president and CEO amoon na ay players am teamam. He was paying them monthly. And time boobu liñ daan gën a def mooy play ay test matches ba pare some of his players mu leen joxoon si divisional team bi. I can name one mooy Yaya Ndong bi nga xamante ne bi mu doon play even Elite United. He was a player of TMT. The time boobu TMT was not even in third division. So that's how it started. So test games in Dan them play, we saw a lot of young and talented players, and then he has the passion of then make sure you strive for Moneka a permanent team. Just with the award ceremony that we had before, they got a first-hand testimony from the players themselves. ñu mel ni ñoom Moussa Camara ak ñoom Yaya Ndong ak Omar Hit aussi de Kanté boppam di joxe testament ne ñoom they are the ones that convince him to make sure ne bro lii nañ ko push because yes this is a very strong team and at least financially you can help the team at yooyu noonu. Then the journey began. Guy they made through qualify around third division in Banjul. Team bi mujjee qualify to the third division. Just that year, we moved to the second division. Bim fa nekkee tamit it was a straight qualification to the first division. But then in the second division, buñ fàtte ne foofu la TMT dema woon final ñoom ak Medina. Their first FF Cup final boo xamante ne am nañ ko. Eventually they lost on penalty shootout. Ñu egg nag si li nga xamante ne moom mooy first division bi. And then, in terms of the table, we were mid-table, at least 3 or 4 games before League BDJ. The team was safe, but then they went for another back-to-back finals as well when it comes to the FF Cup. So in short, TMT, nono la soso, nono la ñëwee. So many people you have maintained they are outside. If you tell them, okay, this team, it was just established barely 5 years ago, and with some of the achievements that we have already done, then they will not understand exactly nakala for them. So, but we just explain to them, the president is very, very, very passionate about football. He's very dedicated, and then he's ready to invest. His aim and objective is just to rewrite again Gambian football. You will understand the meaning of when I say we just want to rewrite Gambian football again.
Okay, Alpha.
Yeah, not to forget, please. In as much as we are talking about the male side, also Bunyfate and the TMT also has a female team as well. So female team Bitamit, as you know, just last year they did a tremendous strides. They went up to the last game of the GFF Women's Division League. Eventually, Nyaka against Berewuleng. Then known la Berewuleng neke the champions of the GFF League. But yes, team Bobo Nono, of course, then Kojenda from Abuko United, because remember, team Bitamit. Fofula they training at the end of the day. So through Watan Tamit, we will surely touch on the female team. But TMT is a male and a female division, our first division teams.
Yeah, I want us to talk on the female team briefly because I think last year or year before, shortly in the team B, Cho Dafa Jogon. One of the founding fathers of Abuko female United football team. The good, Cho be jagan and you want to them court. Take us to learn more here at fallen Muji. Before I explain standing team. Are you guys still going through legal battles? Everything is now settled.
Okay, very interesting question. I think is very good. What happened is that Omar H. Osedekan as the president, he is very wary of when it comes to these legal issues because, apart from football, we all know that philanthropist, businessman, so he's very conscious about all these legal things. Degalan nag dunyaka seal to ame du ñàkk one or two people they will feel that suma ebo sama ne grievance or so ne ok team bi warta dem o nim demee o nangam loolu du mun a ñàkk and I think story bi yëpp ak nu mu doon tuggee be it online ak wherever story bi yëpp loolu la woon maybe one or two people yoo xamante ne maybe they were not satisfied with ni mu fa demee and that was the reason why but to be honest amuñ benn legal battle boo xamante ne right now ñu ngi koo dem xëccoo wuñoo kenn and if it on that form when it comes to sale bi si boppam dañ ko jaarale through the right channels when it comes to the Gambia legal system mooy through AG chambers we made sure ne biñ jëndee team bi we went through there bépp legal document boo xamante ne Abu Koy United amoon na ko legally make sure ne def nañ the transfer of name ñu xam ne léegi team bi mu ngi transfer from kii to kale and then we went to football house laajte nañ procedure xam nañ naka la we went through all the legal procedure boo xamante ne moom la war a jaar dëgg la nag du ñàkk one or two people comme ni ma ko waxee before but alhamdulillah now the dust is settled we are fine and okay since then so the dust was settled just maybe comme li ma ko wax one or two people ñoo doon génn di wax but apart from that we have no issue because the president is very wary when it comes to this legal rights and then the legal procedure as well of acquiring a football team.
Yeah, it's important that nga clear loolu noonu because dafa ñëw bëgg a jaay ñi doole ja bëgg a jaay ñi doole is good nga clear boobu waaye léegi let's go to the main topic. Ask what's the definition of success to you achieving results? Because this is for my main example. Last season, dengan am coach bu S mid season ngeen daha ko or ngeen agreement ngeen ñu nekk footballers xam nañ yéen what is success to you as success ndax win league nekk success yéen success to people or selling players moo nekk yéen seen main primary goal as a club.
Okay, suñu la waxee rek I'm now speaking the mind of the president lim ñu gomloo ak li nekk si moom ak tamit lim ñu woon first hand information pour ñu am pour ñun TMT the definition of success is to rewrite Gambian football but of course through a club si noonu lañ ko mën a manifester exactly so suñ ko waxee nag it might look so awkward or it just might look any other statement boo saani si biti when we say rewrite Gambian football in general. But look, the steps are there, the actions are there, and si biir waxtaan bi of course yëpp dina feeñ te nit ñi dinañ ko xam. Of course, football investment la. When you're talking about investment, di nga xam ne yow as the CEO di nga invest through yaa xam si sax from your pocket or from sponsors or whatever you have. But also you need to generate funds to make sure ne nga run loolu because right now football mun naa la wane mun nañ koo ooyee a business entity boo xamante ne at the end of the day obviously so spending you will want to get your return as well but yes success means a lot for ñun because team la boo xamante ne have this winning mentality first we are here to win trophies just like any other club it doesn't matter that 2 years lañ am that 1 year lañ am wala whatever and now when you look at the records before it has showed it a back-to-back FF Cup final and at the same time ñu gis ne tamit suñ jigéen ñi they went up to the last how to call it again game when it comes to the GFF Women's League so it tells you that first this club is driven by great ambition of not only participating but also competing in the league that we are playing that is the GFF because ñaari trophies la ñoo liggéey yes when you talk about the other side okay jënda fi player jaay fale player I think what we are more concerned about is to make sure that you jox players there are definite opportunity boo xamante ne ni moom lañ soxla pour showcase seen talent su dee fii la yes they can do it with TMT su dee outside la tamit yes the president is very 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 hard liner when it comes to that but soo gisee tey ñun suñ players yi comme as usual gisuñ leen ñëpp jóoru ji any other dëkka is because president be always daf dee bëgga what is right for the player and what is right for the club as well su fekkente ne play yi génn rek dem la rek bro maa la ko wax ni kon time bi TMT ñi ko startandoor ñëpp dem nañ but he always wants the best thing and he always wants the right thing so pour ñun daal li ma la wax mooy we want to rewrite Gambian football through our club TMT te si biir waxtaan bi just as I was saying dina ñëw first when it comes to winning trophies of course it's part of it when it comes to yes buying and selling players, yes, it's part of it, but we also want to do it in the right way, not pour jël player rek tànni leen noonu ñu dem ci any dëkk or anywhere fekk duñ am a follow up duñ am a proper procedure ak yooyu noonu. We are just 5 years yaakamti wuñ si lu ñoo def président bi yaakamti wut si la moo def. So obviously pour ñun loolu moo ñoo mun a drive ba fuñ mun a agsi ñu war faa war a mën a agsi incha allah.
Okay, so rewriting things in terms of football. Let's say in terms of selling players. Yeah? For example, right now, who determines what is right for the player? Is it the player, the agent, or the president? Because so a player right now, Cyprus, to an ordinary Gambian is like Munga is a 5 step ahead. Understand? Why yen rewrite? Can you buttress on that? What do you mean by in terms of selling players?
Okay, first of all, let's start locally. Locally, I think we are one of the few clubs who haven't any. Okay, hit na language you might just look so heavy for some, but nañ ko jappé né dañoo waxtaan in general context and we are not talking to any other team, but dañoo waxtaan li ko happen to Gambian football. We are not that club that will go to any like parent of the player, tek fa ben saaku malo bi da nga diwlin ak yoy ne ko kay nga play. At the end of the day da nga ñew ñu ne ñu ñola mom ñu send la out on loan to anywhere. Hana so tojé ke ñu ñew ne wa okay suñu player la won ba ñu jëlaat ko. No, ñun we are not doing that. So when it comes to transfer, nit ñu bari la ñoo focus moy player yi fi them out. But no, let's start it locally. Ñun ba tay season B players yu bari yuñ sign be it both male and female dañ leen dé sign with cash. Nekkul dañoo dem rek mënoon nañ koo def dem to the parents teg fa loolu ak loolu next minute pré bi su contrat am jeexee mu mun a ñëw si ñun free of charge. But no, we are not doing that. Right now we are buying female players si price boo xam ne su ma la ko waxoon tey you will never believe at the end of the day. Te tey ñun fuñ doo buñ nok rek pour sign a player they will charge us money. Su fekkee jaral nañu ko of course we will break the bank and buy. Tey lu bëri ñun lu ñoo jëndee player bu jigéen laa la wax female players yi mën naa laa wax ne góor yi sax jaay wuñ ko noonu. Bima ñëwété seetaat record si previously some of these players bu ñëw egg first division some of these big name players yi nga xamante ne moom lañ indi we bought them to the hundreds of thousands tens of thousands sorry yaa ma understand. So foofu noonu first loolu lañ like noom boobu noonu lañ njëkk a génnee player di transfer for free not ne okay we are driven by comme nu ko gars yi ñi den am xaalis xamul lu ñoo def ak nagam but no player service is absolutely very expensive. Waxuma play bi si boppam si jëma parce que dëgg la nit kenn du ko mën a jënd waaye service bu moo def that is football is extremely very expensive. Ba pare club bu mu jógee we have to remember it dafa am contribution buñ def si moom dañ ko yar train ko ba yow nga war koo gis nga war koo jënd. So lu mu bon bro war ngaa teg dara si loxoom not ne 5 football ay 10 football ay bidon ngi diwlin saako maalo loolu mooy mën a génnee play bi dem ñëw. But no, we are breaking the bank pour mën a make sure ne ñun we are buying those players. Okay, secondly su ñëwee si beneen phase bi mooy export leen jëlee leen fii yóbbu leen Europe, let's say anywhere in Europe. ñun the policy that we have is determination bi comme na ko waxee yes decision bi it's like a total consultation because player tam sooy ñëw si club su fekkee yow da nga am sa own representative you should tell us ne ok am nga sa representative loolu mu nekk loo xamante ne contract binding ñu xam ko. Players do that dañ dee mën a waxtaana seen representative fii ñu waxtaana ñoom ñu am sell on fees ak yeneen especially si club yi ngay jógee. But problem bi dee am mooy we just don't want to sell our players to any random club boo xamante ne it is not even how to call it professional club wala whatsoever because tey bëri na Gambian players yoo xamante ne they are outside bro su ma la waxee lu gaay di dundee ak lu gaay di nekkee loolu daf dee overla métti si ñoom. So that is the reason why ñun suñ président bi daf koo jaral mu bokk si ñi nga xamante ne ni dafa guide player bi fi mu laa yóbbu moom si boppam mu teg fa tànkaam mu gis lu fa am and that is the reason why today he has a lot of connection when it comes to most of these clubs yoo xamante ne xëj na bëgguñ ko unveil but he has a strong bond with them boo xamante ne moom si boppam mooy dem mu gis player. Okay, I can give you for an example player like Adi suñ striker la jaayoon nañ ko fi last season. Dem na it was all over social media demoon na Sweden it was all over social media bi mu demee si club bi play na waaye da ngaa gis na club bi conditions yi ñu teg it was not really favorable to the player. And after a thorough consultation, we believe na warna wara muna ñëwaat back safi whilst we are working on something else again for him. So doon ñun xaalis rek lañ ci soxla dañ ko doon jaay rek bro ñu bàyyi ko mu dem. So that's the reason why I say dañoo rewrite when it comes to Gambian football itself. First comme wax nga ko si affaire transfer bi. These are just few of the procedures yoo xamante ni ñun dañ ko dee def te dañ ko dee mën a am pour follow up bu baax. Even some of our players, I can tell you 3 of them. Yaya Ndong Sila Bokor. Yobu won nañ leen Saudi. They went there to a second division club. It was fine. They went there. They passed the trials and everything. But through that negotiations, a condition you guys take a kinimel, with a thorough consultation with the players. Understand nañ ne loolu nekkutoon loo xamante ne dafa fi bo gaay. Te fii, alhamdulillah, I'm not saying they are receiving maybe key talks office they more receive, but Gambian football wise. They are receiving a healthy salary at least low that can sustain them. So we are not only there sell players outside, but what we are focusing on also to guide them. So that's why I said we are rewriting history both local and international transfers as well.
Wow, interesting. Yang ngi wax benn point boo xamante ne I'm very happy that TMT ñu ngi def loolu noonu because Gambia one and I will agree with you. So you guys are rewriting history because Gambia Sundeja player, see that seven ball, phones, and then a set of jersey. Voilà, mina la kii dafa jaay kii disclose ko. Waaye yéen one nga ci sa biir wax yéen léegi fu nekk ngeen for example team solo Alassane Balo ñu ne ñaata la ñu ne la li ki player bi 50,000 la ngeen génn 50,000 ci da ka transfer and player boobu
pour man boy
fooguloo ne pour ngeen step ahead pour ngeen def step ahead nit yi xam ne okay you people need business su fekkee ne da ngeen jëndee Alassane 100,000 fooguloo ne you should have a PR department boo xamante ne nga génne news ne okay TMT comme yéen ñu ko defee rek sign it Balo team XYZ this particular transparency and it encourage other things yoo xamante ne damay jëm
waaw wax nga dëgg loolu lu am solo la but loolu am na advantage am na disadvantage advantage bi mooy ne yes TMT jënd nañ player bi si nangam xaalis loolu ok record la parce que man xam naa ne liñ signé some of these players yi am ni some of them man xam naa ne loolu record la but disadvantage bi mooy ne even without doing this bro TMT saa yi nogee sa doo rek yow da ngaa foog ne moom nekk nga like a millionaire overnight because so len charge rek guy dañ ko fay. That's why sometimes that how they perceive the president or club bi ci bopam. So da nga gis ne comme yow lo wax am na solo war naa war a mën a nekk but am na disadvantages te disadvantages yi loolu nag lañ nekk di feel si market bi as of now because li xew mooy ñun most of these clubs xanaa season bi la sax laa gis ne ok club soxla na players si ñun sax ñu laaj la dara because ñun tam we felt ne hey Omar bro this is not fair ñun waruñoo mën a nekk player buñ soxla ñu caaj ñun player bu bëgg a dem nga bàyyi ko noonu mu dem waaye because of this mun naa la wax yërmande bi mu dee am si player yi te xam na ne ok he just wants them to shine if they feel ne they are no more not even wanted or maybe they are not considered football wise TMT maybe they can go and venture into something else but yes advantage bi mu ngi fa disadvantage bi mu ngi fa but trust me si players yi jaay nii am na ñoo xamante ne ni dañ leen fayal seen tuition fees yi pour ñu continuer seen college courses am na ñoo xamante ne apart from only jox team bi cash defal nañ leen loolu am na ñoo xamante ne ni dañ break bank bi pour dem si clubs yooyu noonu ñu dem sign leen si xaalis boo xamante ne xaalis bu weex tàll la te tey suñ ko déggoon when it comes to Gambian bi du mën a gëm ne ndax female football dëgg jarnali at our own local level nag laa wax maybe not in Europe or maybe any semi-professional or professional league outside maybe in Africa but locally dina doon xam ne we are doing that but comme li ma la wax rek I have to be honest with you parce que dañoo waxtaante Gambian thing la amut loo xamante ne moom la ñoo nuba advantage bi mu ngi fa waaye disadvantage bi moo ëppa because as of now and as I am even speaking they will always think ne ok ñii dañ am xaalis wala xamuñu ñoo def wala nangam but président bi bro dañ waxante dëgg moom pour ñun lim ñu gëmloo ak tamit li am mooy ne dafa gëm ne player yi service like a service players yi ak team si liñ investi player bi they should at least reap the benefit of at least having a small token boo xamante ne mën na leen a njëriñ ci dara rather than player bi di dem for free wala fekk xëj na parents yi player yi ñooy am benn ñaar ñetti saaku malo suñ ko lekkee benn 1 month jeexal nañ ci so you know am na advantage but disadvantage is upper and even right now si market bi that's what we are suffering from.
Okay, Alassane, you have any question or any follow-up question, Alassane?
Yeah, Alpha Jerejef, I am very happy that like you came and you're very open. You are talking as if you really want to say it all as it is. Telulu is what we want. We definitely want more Gambians. When we invite you or you have the opportunity to be here on the show, you are so open and just say it as it is. That is very, very much appreciated. So thank you very much for that. I hope people will definitely learn from that. Why Alpha sa president B Noko Waheni, this guy I really can see that you have high hopes, on him, the way he runs the club and his investment and all that. But man, I just want to ask you a question. Bo hamne yangene kom player yolen de jena they break the bank, and when you say break the bank, sometimes come it be more than them, because when you break a bank for a player, it has to be really substantial amount of money. Bo hamne, he probably can live with that money almost for the rest of his life. But I just want you to clarify on that. When you say break the bank, are we talking about in the millions or are we just talking about few thousands of dollars?
Well, Alassane, foog ñu understand tam Gambian level lay waxee ok comme loolu laa soo seetloo suma wax bi before wax naa ne ok buñ measure affaire when we say break the bank or whatever buñ ko measure as if ne professional league or semi pro league or give but Gambian level ñun xam nañ ne li ñoo jëndee female player or li ñoo jëndee player gisuma benn club boo xamante ne ni jëndee nga ko fii player ñun loolu we are sure of that because at least lu mu bon we have been into Gambian football for a very long time understand nañ market bi naka la dee demee ak yooyu noonu. Yes, we are not talking about millions, we are not talking about hundreds of thousands, but tens of thousands. Lolo agana fufu. At our own level, hamda ne tay suñ ko tego ñu wara tek records and every club mu gëna ak honesty dina xamne what we are paying for some of these services, these player services. Come on, bro. Lolo, it to the highest. Okay, that's one. Two. Okay, acha ñëwal.
No, I just wonder, because we had another guest also last week, and based on everything, if you calculate, everyone wants to say or want to make their team to be the best, when it comes to recruitment, when it comes to strategy, when it comes to player welfare and all that, and it's good. The competition is really good when it is backed up, by the reality on the ground. So you buying these players with tens of thousands. So you are very certain that TMT, when it comes to recruiting and buying players, you are the best at it. You offer the highest money in recruiting players and not other teams. Like let's say your top competitors. We have the Real de Banjuls, we have the BST Galaxies. So you are sure that TMT recruits players with a bigger amount of money than these top two giants clubs in the Gambia.
Yeah, with the level that we are in, I'm not sure that any club will want openly put what I'm gonna compete low and they're gonna gender players, they're gonna because bro, Kaimola one thing, if you start doing that, I'm not team you haven't then you'll upper bahat then you'll start the day season play. Yeah, understand. And even right now, we are suffering. Lola Bagahama. Even the prices are not out there. Why? Come on. We have been in Gambian football. We know services players in exactly and I'm telling you for free. Like swing president, we look up player you jaral. Actamit how much he wants to give back to the services of the player at the club. Come on, man lolo hamnane. We are number one, especially when it comes to this season. Lolo man hamnako. But yes, we don't want to do that competition here because at the end of the day, even player Hamilton is even out of contract. Malawi player Hamilton is out of contract. You only need a clearance. we can go to GFF and then acquire that clearance. yaa ñoo laaj xaalis boo xam ne just because of his TMT. yaa ma sa or maybe just because of moo tax soo ko seetloo am na team soo xamante ne fii seen recruitment process yi dañ ko change soo ko bàyyi xel they rather go nationwide seet ndoo yoo xamante ne maybe okay they have contract they are very good ñu indi leen guy play leen because now if they example rek laa joxe you talking about maybe Real de Banjul tey soo toogee ñu ne okay Real de Banjul ñoo soxla suma player bro sa player si joroon $5 sax di nga ko value to $100 so da ngaa gis ne I don't think the club owners they want openly to compete ne hey maa dee gën a jënd player ak yooyu because am na advantages because yes di nga dimbale player bi di nga dimbale team bi but am na disadvantages because they will just want to run over you.
No, why?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, go ahead, base.
No, the thing is, I think for the purpose of transparency, moving Gambia football to the next level. Gambia moving at the same level. Listen, Gambia has always been this stage in the past 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Understand? Gambia the highest side in the history of Gambian football. Wala alpha yo da nga xam.
No, munuma ko xam. You know why, base? Because pour nga xam ko tamit dafa kind of difficult. But xam nga yow soo nekkee sport journalist and then nga involved so much about Gambian football and these clubs. Bro, yow sa bopp di nga mën a understand because kay mo la one thing that there is an underground information boo xamante ne moo dee daw player yëpp a xamante clubs yi yëpp a xamante ñun xam nañ how it works. waaye léegi su fekkente ne exemple tey ñu ngi woon ci benn because tey Sénégal ay dama gis ne sax dañ ko include this season ñoom am nañ this I think is transfer market or something like that whereby seen players yi dañ leen dee mën a def seen value bi foofu tey GFF suñ ko amoon daf doon mën a yomba nit ku nekk tey mënoon ngaa dem trigger buy out clause am nga mun koo jënd oo nga xam ne presse bi lii la moo laaj nga mun koo li but hence loolu amut léegi discrétion bi daf dee des club bi si boppam gis nga club bi su la ne du jaay loolu yow mënuloo si dara as far as the player bi muy am foofu noonu contract so pour nga war a mën a determine loolu on a transparency level you like maybe nga dem si record fekk ko fa dafa difficult but ñun xam nañ li fi nekk xam nañ li nekk si Gambian football and I'm telling you we are doing that but okay we are not doing that tamit pour jaay doole comme ñu bëri luñ dee wax o dafa am xaalis o dafa nangam no we are not doing that comme li ma la wax rek then respect service player bi then respect them to more jógee understand that they have to at least gain from that. Yeah,
that's important. Why? It's not on the clubs. Responsibility GFF. Pour dimbale players yi. Because Gambia this player boo xam ne you have to be honest with ne ko player you understand that. Yeah, no matter how good you are, am na ñoo xamante ne understand. So the thing is, we have this in the market. The more salary cap be muy egg because according to sources, I'm the player yoo xamante ne they pay. Am na ñoo xamante ne $1,000 leen leen salary, and that takes me to my next question. You people, your salary cap, is it that you give it to players or
this? I think loolu aman na Gambia na boy player $1,000 ko yoo xam ne mu ngi play GFF division 1 loolu su amee moom boy ñu ñiwi
moo dama laaj alpha because dégg na am na ñoo xamante ne sax duñ leen dee fay understand
it's very
terrible
am na ñoo xamante ne pay am na ñoo xamante ne
loolu moom
previous play yu dee fay ak play yu war a fay am na ñoo xamante ne pay them based on their performance so alpha you take us through.
No, best lolo mama, to be honest, in a general point of view, lolo amla, it's happening. And then you have send clubs in the play, only match bonus line them or even match if you just len pass me them. Okay, play it, so say guy to go def, maybe you don't get the club be. At least they have in playing time to get wheeler. Maybe national team, any category call up Munafa or at least move on to a bigger club or haven't maybe Munalaja or come in the happen. ñoom bi ak gaay dem indi fele ay agents maybe ñu gis la sa talent ñu mun laa sign so ñooñu moo tax gaay leen dee jaral gaay de ko dee def okay on the side of the club ñeneen ñi they don't have the financial muscle to do that to be honest they don't have the financial muscle to do that mooy pour ñu fayee salary si ñoo xamante ne nag one of the clubs yoo xamante ne they are paying salary man I can attest to what is happening at in TMT ñun suñ play yëpp male and female everybody they are contracted and they are contracted based on salary as well. Weer bu dee da ngaa gis play nu nga di rangee si office bi di ñëw di collect seen paycheck loolu dafa utee ak bonus gars yi day am ak yeneen a yeneen sooy check loolu tamit comme li ma la wax rek Gambian level comme average salary bi Gambian level fii yes of course ñun ñu ngay fay play yoo xamante ne nii tey kuy toog si office yóbbuwu ko dara bro wala am na liggéey yoo xamante ne nii yóbbuwu ko dara we know that is happening yes some players are lower some players are higher depending on yen agreement yoo leen am but also coming to the transfer tamit buñ fàtte ne tamit we have to be honest with you ne sometimes there is this mutual agreement bi dee am diggante clubs there is this mutual understanding kon bi dee am diggante clubs sometimes you want my best player bi wane na ne yes dafa bëgg a am pour dem you negotiate at your own level ngeen dem when it comes to contractual issues beeg yooyu loolu moom JFF sort nañ ko out mu réglé 100% we commend them for that but the only thing maybe lu des mooy xëj na boobu suñu àggee si a professional or semi professional league mun naa am mooy market value bi player bi gis nga loolu mooy dooleel player bi mooy dooleel club bi si boppam because yes competition bi tamit dafa gën a high bro tey TMT they are having one of the best players or beneen club you can name them beneen club bu ees mun naa jógee fale with their financial muscle you buy all the Galacticos in the GFF league so boobaa competition la you have a 2-horse race whereby for the past 10 years di nga ne benn ñaari club ñoo win league bi yëpp so pour man yes am na ñoo xamante ne they are soo ko seetloo in a general point of view salary bi am na ñoo xamante ne duñ dee even sa receive salary but on TMT I'm telling you every male and female am na ñoo xamante ne they are even on loan we are still paying them salary trust me so that is happening in first and second division both male and female both male and female loolu mu ngi am foofu noonu.
Alassane.
Right, it's very sad, it's very sad, and I understand your point, very well, ne comme am na player yoo xam ne because look gis nga ñun Gambian bi we love football ñun football dañ ko bëgga I don't understand lu tax football bi probably moom moo ñu nekk di daw but ñun we always want to get close to it and this is the reason why players will choose to buy training gears for themselves ñu jënd everything pour seen boppa nga xam ne maybe sax amuñ doole bi maybe seen am mutut waaye da ngaa gis ne dañoo jënd dara bu ko rek ñu jënd e-vest jënd training kits just pour them train pour play at the end of the day they just love the game waaye pour man I am so sad ne comme amuñ this administration or a policy in place boo xam ne at least soo demee ba war a play to first division in the GFF loolu even if you tell me Alpha xam naa ne probably dégg la mu ngi am de but man I will never choose to believe it ne comme player dina nekk in GFF Gambia first division koo xam ne nekku di an salary loolu is like loolu is the worst that you can do to someone because dégg la am na ñoo xam ne they have a job on the side dina lañ dimbale I understand that and they come to play and you probably choose not to give them the salary waaye am na ñoo xam ne nekkul ñëpp a dee toog office nekkul ñëpp a dee liggéey am na ñoo xam ne just football rek mooy seen life football mooy seen everything and you choose not to give those people salaries it is just ridiculous loolu man I can never man dégg la mu ngi am waaye pour man just for my peace of mind I choose not to believe ne loolu mu ngi am because loolu is so embarrassing loolu is so degrading loolu is inhumane I can say the least nit mu nekk in GFF first division koo xam ne nekku di dara loolu dafa daw yaram loolu dafa
doguma la sa Alassane that's why we even choose to call it allowance rather than salary because in financial terms maybe salary is taxable xam nga social security fale yeneen and that is not happening when it comes to Gambian football ak because now if the authorities start to tax these teams income wala whatsoever that they're having so obviously dafa mën a reflect back that's why in the pre-season meeting or the team management meeting bu ñu doon am ak GFF as they say they are working tirelessly on that nga xam ne even su demee semi pro or professional level tax yooyu noonu dinañ ko mën a exempt nga xam ne even whatever yow su fekkee da nga pay player whatever amount nga xamante ne loolu will suit him So that is the reason why, Alassane, I told you from the beginning, TMT ñun luñ bugga mooy ene buñ am mooy ñu rewrite history bi. Not only comme lu ñoo wax ay transfer yi wala in terms of finance ak yeneen yeneen, but also the approach towards infrastructure si boppam. I'm sure you will wanna talk about that because tey club si bëri alhamdulillah ñu ngi am seen PG boppa. Some as on a neutral point of view is standard, some are substandard, but at the end of the day, pitches still and ñu ngi play. And then TMT also xam nga ne we are not lagging behind as far as that infrastructure is concerned. So obviously, we will want to make sure, apart from this salary cap, oh sorry, wages cap, transfer cap, but also there are other sectors you have the TMT will venture in it. You have you know, in future generations in Tala, they will enjoy, or if they emulate, you know, that will really help Gambian football.
Yeah, Alsa, you touched on this, you know, recruitment, you know, that you buy players and all that. But apart from seeing a player that you like and buying the player, do you do any other sort of recruitment strategies, like, you know, just see somebody with promise, you know, somebody that you truly believe in, and just, you know, let him play and train with the team, and then, you know, there you have a superstar? Is that also something that you look into?
Interesting question, Alassane. And fofu sa dama fa bëgg def bu baaxa baax pour nit ñi tamit ci biti ñu understand, because that's what many people think. Dañoo dem gis ready-made player jaay. But remember, we have a short-term plan and we have a long-term plan. Recently, Soko Baye Hell is not only the players that we are signing, but backroom staff bi ci bopam, it's really been equipped very well, both male and female side bi. And then sun feeder team bi as well, mooy sun youth team boo xamante ne am nañ ko. Last year performance Africa Scout bi, we played up to the quarterfinal stage, I believe, but you know, we were kind of discontent with, you know, some of the, you know, mbir mi ni mu fa demee because da nga gis regular GFF player boo xamante ne is competing week in week out si league bi, nga gis ko mu ñëw wàccaat ne dafa play si Africa Scout under 17 bi. Pour ñun that was absolutely not fair. War na noo bàyyi xale yoo xamante ne maybe they are not having opportunity to play si league bi and then they play there. Okay, loolu one thing la. Suñ recruitment bi ñun suñ setup yi ñu am, we brought in a technical director well equipped as well. Sarr ku ko xam na ne jàmbaar la, gaynde la si la moo def. Suñ backroom staff bi tamit dañ ko equip ak with more coaches ak with more technical minded persons as well. Now you go to our feeder team, dañ jëlee coach Sissoko laa ko mën a ooyee, dañ ko jëlee all the way from Senegal because of his credentials and the record that he has when it comes to grassroots development. We brought him here, ñu jox ko trials 1 week, dem ren goal project, ñu bàyyi ko mu train ak xale yi. We also bring in our expert behind closed doors, gars yi di seetaan di xam, ñu recommend ko na xam ne waa kii can do something with it. So we hired him, paying him a lot of money, dekkal ko fii di ko lekkal di ko naanal. His sole responsibility is to make sure ni player development only, loolu rek mooy liggéeyam. So amoon nañ ndoo yoo xam ne ñu doon liggéey ak ñoom, like we are bringing them up bit by bit. This year sax am nañ benn ñaari xale yoo xamante ne, benn xale boo xamante ne was selected in the under 17, previous under 17 bi amoon nañ leen. They are thinking how best to integrate leen si first team bi si boppam. Loolu long term plan bi la. So am nañ ay chief scout boo xamante ne tamit moo dee go around recruit players yi pour ñu indi leen, pour when it comes to youth team bi si boppam ñu seet lan lañ manqué, ñu development to the maximum, because ñun gëm nañ ne the future of TMT foofu la nekka. That is the long plan. Short-term plan bi nag am na, because come on bro, we are competing in the GFF First Division League. We are back-to-back finalists when it comes to the FF Cup. So obviously, mënuloo ñëw nga dem back-to-back finals and thinking the next season, okay, my main aim and objective is just to maintain in the First Division League and not to win trophies. Of course, our ambition is to win trophies. Dem nañ finals ñaari yoon. Why not bang the GFF First Division League? Or why not bring home the FF Cup itself? So lolu short term plan la, and that's why we have coach Aliou ak gaayami ñuy liggéey ci lolu. Ñoom ñoo xam ne okay, last season play nañ, lii lañ mankele, this is the player that we want, ñu dem break bank bi, suñu ko jarele ñu break bank bi indi ko mu ñëw pour mu saaf ñu, and our purpose of at least, you know, bringing home a trophy. Society jigéen ñi tamit, remember we went so close. There was a last game against Berewulen, dañ leen jiitu woon. Su game bi jeexee woon noonu, we would have been crowned champions and represent Gambia in the qualification of the CAF Champions League in Wafu Zone A. eventually we lost 2-1 to Berewale. So as a short-term plan, what would you think, Alassane? Obviously, it's not okay. Why not we go in for the trophy? We went to the wire to, and then we lost it against the eventual champions. So, nini bor bobu lañ nekk di gëna gisee. You understand? Te ba pare fofu la media attention bi gëna amé. But COB is very, he has this vision of what he wants. And when he transmits that to the technical director and the coaches, they have started working on that. And right now, so far so good, it is absolutely bearing fruit. Because Hale played against second division team, even though it was a test game, Muloko Jape something like competitive, but you we brought in agents that came here. Agents Gisnan recommendation that say a certain Hale, you they are played. Their age are 14, 15 years of age. And trust me, you'll go lolo the future of TMT. So apart from breaking the bank, buying players, I'm telling you, ñun recruitment biñ am ci suuf bés buñ feñé ci kaw Alassane xam naa ne suñ team A bi sa gars dinañ waroo gom, trust me.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah, go ahead, base.
You spoke about the CAF championship. When you realize Gambia moy, most of the teams they concentrate ci league bi da nga win league bi mu wara dem CAF championship halis amut. Da nga wut sponsor do am sponsor at the beginning. So yeah, right now you guys you kind of re-strategize who to sell, when to sell, how to play. More in this guy play you very. So let's say, for example, next season ngeen dem CAF championship.
No, base gis na suma la wé suma dëgg rek. I can tell you for free ne xëj na duñ ko manifest. Waaye tey GFF officials yëpp laa la wax soo xaroon seen xool final boobu mooy suñu FF Cup final bi ak Greater Tomorrow soo xaroon seen xool they'll want to tell you ne okay we simply bugga nañ TMT bi for the simple fact ne xam nañ ne they will register and they will play the Confederation Cup. ñun loolu moom président bi loolu moom mos a nekk ambition am because gis nga moom fi mu nekk di gisee wallahi am telling you okay yàlla rek a xam lay happen si kanam but éni bu mu am ak lu mu pare pour def pour Gambian football bro trust me he's not even only thinking about the Gambia kii West Africa la nekk di xool fan la Nigerian team si toolu fan la Senegalese team yi toolu fan la Ghanaian team si toolu foofu la nekk di xoolee so da ngaa gis ne pour ñun participate in the Champions League qualification round participate how to call it again si CAF Confederation Cup the qualification round lolo has never been our issue when it comes to whether they participate or not li nekk suñu issue mooy ñun nañ win trophy rek ak trophy bu mën a nekk bro inshallah you will see TMT participating in this competition and we are not only going to do it just the okay dem nañ gada nañ xaalis ñëwaat nañ toogaat nañ no we will want to compete to qualify and that is the reason why sama wax la ne we are bringing all these players including national team players yoo xam ne ñun am na leen already that is the home base national team. We have almost 3 or 4 players who are maintenance. They are part of that setup. And we brought in more players who are maintenance. They are potential when it comes to that. So we just don't want to make sure we win an league or win an FF Cup, new them competition be just to be like making up the number. But we want to go there and achieve what law maintenance maybe yenen teams you maintenance jar nañ fi gaay ji dem ko achieve and that's our ambition for sure.
Why legi man suma personal view luma assess mooy TMT has one man boo xamante ni has funds university understand waaye fooguloo na tamit ñu started di jaay benn ñaar ñetti player the club as an entity will have some funds boo xamante ne la tere borom bu su nekkute you will still run fooguloo ne daal selling one or two players dimbale in the long run person you want to be financial so you have a different perspective in terms of Alva question bitangan ada from of
Boy, no man, I wanted to say, to be honest, if this, the owner of TMT war naa fay alpha su nekkee mu ngi fay alpha war naa yokk salaire nag because the guy he has so much passion for this team and the way he talks and all that man alpha could not be like on but look at the way the guy talks and the guy he is so much in the job So he knows the ins and the outs and everything, But whatever the case may be, he has done his homework, really well. And I am very, very, very much excited that the guy have really good, stuff for the team that he supports, or the team that he is a member of. Well, at the end of the day, base TMT and I giant Ben player, like send whole 5 years. Yeah, of course, because man, I was thinking maybe they have sold maybe a player or two. Lolu, it shouldn't be a problem. With everything, the way he was talking and the vision that they had. So I think the team structure-wise, the team is absolutely amazing with technical directors, with a coach from Senegal, an international coach for that matter. It's amazing, paying for his rent, paying for food and all that. It's amazing. It's really nice. So they have a very good structure. They have everything in place. So it's just a shame that I haven't been very much into Gambian football, since I came, here. But the stage is set, because whoever we talk to, they just praise their teams and they raise the level and the bar so high that what, I just want the GFF league to start so I can watch these teams, and see what they really have in store or what they have to offer. Because it's just amazing.
Nala jox ñaari team TNT.
Yeah.
BST Galaxy.
Wow.
In the next 5 years, they will dominate Gambian football. This will BST Galaxy. TMT, I understand and okay, they want to. At some point, the more you keep recruiting, you are not selling. At the end of the day, I know Mujene at Chelsea have 40 players, 50 players. You don't even know what to do with them. Lord, that would create more problems than something I am as a team. Mabugon Alpha answer strategy, because you are just engaging a player. Alpha is back. Let me get him.
Momola Kola.
Wow. So he's coming.
Yeah, no base Mandal. To be honest with you, I will be going, and looking, at the table when the GFF league starts, because this is really exciting. Because man, to be honest, when I was in Gambia, we didn't really have this, these new teams with new ambitious owners, owners that really want to invest in their teams. I was not fortunate to be part of it. Yeah.
Alpha yang ma dega.
Yeah, ma dega. Wa mala dega ba sure.
Wa su fekkene call si la.
No.
Te dañoo deviate tuuti, because in programme yi normally 1 hour la, waaye tey foofu ñu dem bi 1 hour 15 minutes, because yow question yi léegi jeexam
base.
Wow, dafa mel ni yow foofu ñu la 1 hour 30 minutes la.
Yeah, sure.
Waaw léegi balaa nga dem understand nga suma question bi na ma repeat ko.
Well, repeat it quickly again.
Waaw lu ma daan wax mooy bëgg leen at this stage start to sell few players. The club as an entity, mu am some funds, mu use that as an operating expenses or whatever you people might call it. That's number one. Two, relying on one person to run a particular project for you, it's not safe. Understand? So man, suma gis as a finance guy, as a football, I think it's better you start the guy right now. No, do leen tere ngeen nekk di at ndax yéen and that question mooy ñaata player ngeen jaay in this 5 years.
Okay, the thing is, first of all, the president will always tell you, Bugana jay, yes, no problem. Warna no jay, yes, no problem. but daf ko bëgg a def in the right way, just like I was explaining before. Bëgguma see delluwaat muy lekka moo si suñ taay. So
Yeah,
ñun
yeah, yeah.
amuñ that issue, because the thing is, yes, just recently, right? ñu bari war nañ ko war a mën a gis social media. We brought in here at least 3 agents, or even 4 of them, 4 agents yoo xamante ne nii they are from outside working with highly respected teams ak yooyu noonu. Yes, we brought them here pour mën a make sure that we just showcase the talent that we have pour ñu lii, but those are agencies or those are clubs yoo xamante ne dañ establish a very good relationship ak ñoom ba pare gis nañ seen working condition. Président bi dem na ba foofu, gis na seen structure bi, xam na a bit of history about the club. So mbir mi loolu la. In as much as you're talking about, okay, give and take la at the end of the day, but président bi moom dafa am vision am, dafa am si lum gom mooy ne no matter what xaalis bi neex na, yes, but jaarale ko si yoon pour nga xamante ne process boobu noonu su moo continuer, more benefit will be reaped for sure. Secondly, comme nga ne benn nit génne ci posam ak xëy na dëgg la duñ fi mën a toog di disclose on behalf of president bi or how TMT financially operate, but ku ko xam na ne dafa professional in what he's doing. We have legal-minded people within our administration. We have well-respected financial individuals yoo xamante ne are within our midst, and that's why whatever we do it according to budget boo xamante ne nii we created it, we put it on just to make sure ne team bi am na guidelines fekk we are not going to spend indiscriminately. So anything that we are doing, anything loo xamante ne ñu ngi ko def, be it player sale, infrastructure or whatever, si luñ mën a involve rek, it is a well calculated move. Nekku ne you just do it out of random ak yooyu noonu. That's why people like us ñu ñëw tamit society administration bi make sure ne all the checks and balances are on, make sure ne bookkeeping ak yeneen ak yeneen, they are all formulated. We want to make sure ne def nañ loolu yëpp in order. If I'm not living, then beneen question bi, I think I have to get it. maa ngi am foo xamante ne foofu laa ko binde, then I will name you names comme programme bi ni moo dawee rek, then I will try to get it now. Ma jox leen tur yoo xamante ne yes, along the line some of them jaay nañ leen, they are playing, some are in Spain, some are in other countries. Am na ñoo xamante ne sax jaay nañ leen to this African countries ba Mozambique sax jaay nañ fa player with a very good condition boo xamante ne ni player bi is within one of the goalkeepers of the previous under 20. Comme ni ma la wax nag, sales yooyu noonu yëpp daf day nekk in consultation with the player ak representative am su fekkente ne TMT is not the representative of the player. But yes, am nañ tamit player yoo xamante ne jaay nañ leen Finland. We have player also in Spain. We have couple of players yoo xamante ne yes, they are in their clubs, they are in a very good condition. ñun sonnuñ si lu bari. The president is there, they leen check all the time, make sure that he's talking to the, be it club owners or coaches or technical directors, to make sure that those players are developing. They are not there only idling, but they are there developing, and then to make sure that tamit guy put them on the right track. So lolu tamit is on the pipeline. But just like I said, you're talking about club boo xamante ne ni it's just barely 5 years, bro. And if we are able to achieve all these things, and then muna make sure that from at this infant stage, make sure that then when it comes to we are financially disciplined, in terms of technical aspect, we have recruited more people. So trend being with proper management, I can tell you we can achieve actually what we want to do. But let me tell you this for free. The president is very conscious of professionalism. That's why he brought in all these people to help him and then to guide him towards achieving his success. Because saying I want to be the best in the Gambia or I want to be the best in West Africa, Lolu, could be let me say, could even $1 billion molakome. You can have the money, but if you don't have the expertise to execute that, come on, bro, it's going to be a zero deal. So he knows exactly what he's doing. People that are well experienced surround him, and they are guiding him towards what he wants to do.
But Alpha, I just want to comment, the ownership, especially your club, TMT. Man don wa base, but I offline. Man time man don joye Gambia manu. Like we didn't have this, come like very young individuals. You have to invest send money, into a football club. But new gum ko new stick to see Lulu, because man luma don't dega ak luma don't yaga gis is just people just buy a club and just wow, so what, they just buy a club and you play. They don't even care, why come you the way you talk, man, the what business a salary they call it increase, because the way you talk for this team, and it's like amazing the passion that you have for it, for the team. Yeah, I'm just saying it. Sa boss like to be honest with you, whatever salary you receive, he has to double it, because to be honest with you, you talk from your heart, and it shows that you really love what you do, and the team. So that's really perfect. But man, I just wanted to understand, with all this investment, and you said that you have sold players, like let's say all over the world, because selling players to Finland, you have sold players to Spain, you've sold players to even parts of Africa. So it's okay, it's good. Why man, I just want to ask you about the GFF League prize money come first division B, $1 million. Stolen, you already know that when you win the league, you're paid $1 million. The man, based on the way you are talking, with all of the backroom staff that you have, with everything that comes with the club, I am guessing that you spend more than $5 million, in a season. This is just a guess. I don't really know, but it's not really important. But I know for sure you spend more money than what the GFF League prize money is. Why, just knowing that you will receive $1 million, does this really discourage you going into a season knowing that it's just $1 million on offer, or is it more about winning the trophy? I just want to understand, the mind of TMT, football club. The prize money 1 million, is it something that will add something, financially to your team, which I don't believe, because the way you talk, and all the spending, all the expenditure that you do, $1 million is really nothing. It's just peanuts. It's probably just your one month or 2 weeks budget. What do you really think about the $1 million prize money for the GFF Division 1? It's too low, isn't it?
Yeah, I will say yes. So ko bëggee compare tamit ak at least some West African countries yoo xamante ne ñoom ñoo fi nekka, or even tamit with the level boo xamante ne ni xëj na TMT boobu la aga, because foofu laa gën a involve, TMT laa gën a mën a waxal, and like ñoom lay represent fii. To tell you, even FF Cup final bi nii, whatever amount of money that was the prize money, the president, like, he was just like disappointed that yes, it didn't come. But trust me, wallahi, he was willing to give even double that amount to the players only. Waxuma la say leneen a leneen. So pour wax leen, okay, when it comes to that $1 million compared to our budget and how much he's investing when it comes to Gambian football, loolu moom, to be honest, yes, it's kind of low when you compare it with that. But on the other hand as well, so ko seetloo fii ñun ci suñ own level, that is the Gambia, fan la GFF prize money bi jógee ak fu mu àgga nii tey, ak now they are thinking about going professional league. So obviously we'll expect maybe that prize money, dina egg more. You can say it's, even though one can say, okay, hit na mungi slow or better mungi tuti, when you balance it with your own finance, that is now TMT. I'm talking about TMT. But I think in another way around also, we should at least give them credit si benn bor, because am na fiñ ko jëlee, am na fiñ ko yóbbu. Even though yes, maybe mën na expect ne every year war naa war a mën a yokku at least by 500 or 250,000. The content maybe àggoon nañ benn $2 million or $3 million at the end of the day. And that is the reason why tamit TMT is not only stopping at comme li ma la wax rek, president be dig out from his pocket and then doing things. It's also doing other avenues yoo xamante ne nii loolu mun naa generate wealth. But the problem now is when you look at it in TMT format, that's the scenario. But in general context, it's a different story. How about a team boo xamante ne nii maybe moom kenn mënu koo jàppale even with benn 10,000. And do you know now that's the reason why you have some Gambian players yoo xamante ne sometimes even match bonus ga duñ ko rek am, because the club have nothing to give them. a first division league team 150,000 plus beneen sponsor bi 50,000 let's say 200,000 nga di am for a preparatory money loolu soo ko génnee yow si sa salary cap bi TMT sa lay wax right now soo ko génnee si sa salary cap bi ak yeneen that's virtually nothing but maybe si another team loolu mun naa nekk something because loolu mun na koo manage pour joxe pass ak yeneen so Alassane that's the different contrast depending on yow ban team ngay represent or yow koy gisee Gambian football or su fekkee yow da nga koo match around the world or Africa ni mu demee I agree playing back to back African Nations Cup bro loolu right now waroon nañoo war a mun a elevate fi mu nekk nii mu dem and I don't only believe that has to only do with GFF yes they are the driving force ñoom lañ dénk football but at the end of the day football bi fi taxaw or federation bi fi taxaw you must have a clear support even from the government itself nga delluwaat foofu noonu GFF will tell you okay xaalis boo xamante ne it was meant for this and this and this and that dinañ ko jël ñu transfer ko def ko ci lii because tam loolu tam is a priority because suñ bëgg a toppee foot to foot lu CAF or FIFA day joxe subvention ne foofu lañ ko war a dugal I'm telling you so many things du mun a dox so man dama gëm ne pour loolu GFF league bi 1 million it's a collective responsibility even though I agree yes GFF will be the driving force because ñoom lañ dénk football bi ñoom lañ ko mën a laaj bu ñu noo dem si ministre of youth and sports bu collecte football sports infrastructure most of it loolu lañ ko mën a laaj so two things rek lay daanelee fii mooy ne on the perspective of TMT yes receiving 1 million after winning the league after so many games bro is too small sorry rek ma interject fii tuuti rek because okay I'm also into other sports mooy wrestling do you know ne ñun benn wrestler si benn takusaan boo xam ne su fekkente ne lamba bi is even 1 second la am sax mu daanu wala eventually ñu daan ko sax highest paid wrestler fi Gambia is $550,000 a single bout $550,000 yeah so after all nga play league bi yëpp ñaata games traveling dem expenses $1 million so ko calculate si boor boobu we have to be honest with each other yes dafa lii waaye tam soo delluwaatee gannaaw nga seet previous federation si lan leen doon joxe bu gaay ñëwee fan leen fekkoon affaire yi ak yooyu xam nga still 1 million tamit you can say that okay they are improving maybe they are improving slowly in terms of the price money ak yeneen but tamit you know man personally on my personal point of view and on the point of view of TMT ñun gis-gis bi lañ ci am daal
wow loolu Alpha thank you very much for that answer that's really good you know but wax nga ne comme GFF fu gaay jëlee the prize money the indico fee you know we have to commend them and yes of course that's very true that's very right you know why man belegi I think with $1 million say prize money loolu to be honest it's not even worth playing for nit yi dañoo play rek because of love bu gaay am si football bi man I think most of these clubs they are not going into a season to win the trophy primarily for the $1 million lolu probably nañ ko just take aside because I don't really think a team is well run team la team it whatever team ñoo xam ne probably gaay mënu ñoo taxaw sa waru ñoo like comme mënu ñoo joxe sa training fares because man façon team yooyu noonu I don't really think that come you know they are serious because when you own a team you should be able to know what you're getting into you should be able to know what is involved and then get a team and run it in a good way why just jënd team rek nga leen naa jox pass or probably amuloo even pass boy joxe then yow you don't even need to own a team you know so man I'm just saying that come players see they love to play the administration they are in this because they love the game in one way or the other but it's not because of the prize money $1 million see lolu defalut let's say TNT right now like TMT ñoo xam ne ñu ngi spend like if you look at the whole season probably you spend like 10 million or 5 million you know so $1 million it wouldn't add anything to your coffers you know to be honest so you are much more trophy driven team to winning the trophy is much more important of course but man I just want to ask you because a lot of people ñu fi ñëw probably time bi dafa jeex without asking this question. And it's about this stadium, Bohamne. It has been on all the time. I know this is about the government. ñoo xam ne dañu war a put the infrastructure in place. Why tamit you have a role to play because the players that are playing in your team, let's say for example, most of them, so gisee tey ñu ngee play, their ultimate goal is to play for the national team. You know, let's be honest about it. Dinañ play TMT and they would love it. But their ultimate goal is to play for the national team. To play for the national team in the, you know, home ground, being supported by their own fans. Your conversation probably with the players, because Hamnane, like you know your players, and obviously the stadium saga, obviously like everybody has talked about it. You know, how would you say your players, the players of your club, are feeling, knowing that maybe even if I have the chance to play for my country, ak coono bu ma dem nii yëpp, ak coono bu ma daj nii yëpp, one day ma war a play as my country, ma war a feel the atmosphere. You know, that is like the biggest of my life, understand nga? And then I have to play that game away from home. You know, home away from home. How do the players feel about this whole thing? You know, maybe you have talked about that, you know, on a personal level, or maybe, you know, in a whole committee level or team level, you know, I don't know, but it must affect the players in one way or the other. You know, how do they really feel about this? And how you personally, how do you feel about the Gambia not being able to play their home games at home? You know, it's very embarrassing, and it's very.
Thank you very much, Alassane. It's a very good question. Why? But I'm gonna yatal two to question. But now let me first come about the stadium issue. To be honest, society players, administrators, journalists, fans, and everybody, I think it's just disappointing. It's just disappointing. A team, a national team that went to back-to-back AFCON, they even reached the quarterfinals of the Africa Cup of Nations. Bro, and now we cannot do without our own stadium. Lolo mom, at capacity bumuna neka, at excuse bumuna neka. It's absolutely very disappointing. And Mayoka Latilenen. Did you know the stadium be Balaga to call take me pour renovate ko agio time before league bid on I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. My Hawks bu last jail league bi I'm nga time bu maji guddi daf dan taw moy time bu ko Paradise dan live stream noonu on the TV. I wish nga dem fofu nga setan game football nga set Gambian teams yi waxuma la lenen players yi they are absolutely super talented, and if they are giving the opportunity for okay. They can even do more when it comes to they can even do more when it comes to club level. Because right now they are relegated here, but Banjul United, Tamalan Fadon Setan, they play fancy football. Hawks Solen Setan on, I think Lulu Bokana Siluginata, the Hawks Monono drive through them because they are playing on the standard, at least not standard pitch in terms of quality grass acuity. But first with the pitch size, Alassane. Wow, exactly. But also pitch size. Pitch size, Alassane. Li ñu bari dañ ko dé neglect. But trust me, this is hindering soon under 17, soon players, even soon chanting, this is disturbing them. Because bro, then you want to be like I have to be very direct and clear. Monologue them nga play, let's say, sorry for calling names though, but nga them goal project or nga them Brikama or nga them Banjul, looking at the size of their pitch, nga your finger play whole GFF division league. You select la under 20 wala a chanting, you yobula, you know, nga wara them play Senegal. Start Abdoulaye Wada wala da nga wara dem Kenya play and standard pitches yoyu. Technically it's going to derail you because your size bo mean fat nga tukki nga aga nga dem nga ñew so demé ci real world bi do ko fa feka. So technically it's killing our players, and this is exactly what they don't understand. So gis nga yi yëpp problème la. In as much as we talking about stadium bi yes dafa war a am. It's disappointing that it's not happening. But another thing li ma wax mooy even some of the parks in they play fii they should try by all means mu gaay am a standard measurement boo xamante ne suñ demee feneen loolu lañ faa fekka that will help our players. And that is the reason why so daf ma indiwaat back to infrastructure which I really wanted to say about that. Te soo ko seetloo many people will tell you oh TMT lu tax am nañ seen own pitch wala ñi am nañ wala ñële am nañ we believe ne maybe yéena leen gën a financially stable or whatsoever. I tell them this, and the president always tells them this. You know what we want to do? Come ni malako wahe. We are seeing West Africa. We want to put our mindset and our infrastructure and everything that we want to do. Then buga hol nuko West Africa day defé. Ñu gëna graw ci West Africa niñ ko defé at their own level, club level. Ñun nonu lañ ko bëgga defé. Mota yakamti wuñ. Mota yes, in terms of infrastructure, we have a short-term plan, we have a long-term plan. Short-term plan bi moy am nañ yaakar ne at least before the end of the league, inshallah, TMT will not play home game at their own home ground. But we have a mega project. I wish people know and then you understand exactly what is unfolding on the side of TMT. Benga xamantene pour elek suñ ko gisee fekk du len beta. Yes, I cannot disclose everything, I cannot say everything, but Alassane dag ma prom pour ma wax more on infrastructure. In as much as we're talking about the stadium, yes, we need it. Players, they want to play there. They want to play home. They want to feel at home. Yeah, man, sir. League bi time bim don play si wéri koor bi goudi nonu ak yoyu. My friend, stadium bi raf dan fest del people will go out to watch because yes, it's comfortable to watch. You will see beautiful football. Yeah, man, sir. So pour man issue stadium bi, I think the government, yes, they need to do a lot. They need to strive very hard for at least we mun ñu ko jox. Man, I was saying it, even though we lost our first two, three games, dañ ñakon out of 3 games, we lost our 2 games. The qualification round before Jonathan don't know. But I'm telling you, man, with this performance, if you had played at home, most likely in qualified so we would have been be part of the best losers. So games yu bari yo xamantene dañ ko play away te mu disturb te amuñ ci results. So ko seetloo that lack of home advantage daf si bokk bu baax a baax. And not only talking about the national team, man, even league bi fii ni ko ñun daf ñu doon dimbale play su gaay miinoon loolu rek maa la ko wax playing at least at a standard pitch bés buñ génnee du leen sonal but mënuloo play fii si kapet nga play fii si grass boo xamante ne xam nga ne koregut nga jógee foofu nga dem Kenya wala nga dem Ghana wala nga dem Nigeria war a am pour play si a professional pitch. Obviously pitch size be one, quality of the pitch two, loolu yëpp daf laa dérel. So in as much as we're talking about the stadium, I think even Twin Parks yi tamit war nañu la xool su dee kapet la sa garaawat because maybe loolu lañ mën a sustain but at least let it be the right pitch size nga xamante ne dina gën a mën a dimbale suñu players yi.
So Mota Alpha dafa jafe very very difficult, to be honest. Like come Gambian national team be right now dina jafe come like a home based player, a home based player mu break into that team because comme noko don waxe rek yow lo min yow yaangi min pichi Brikama yaangi min pichi Serekunda West Serekunda East Manjai. Sometimes I see the pictures online, so gare play set nawetan and all that. So gisee grassy boy nuñ aye and like comme I pah yo xamne to be honest with you degala man tam ma fa nekkon nekuton problem maa ngi play naa si yooyu no problem waaye comme xam nga soo toogee nga xalaat nga gis yeneen yi when you have been through something else yow sa boppaat sa fit moo dee dem because man right now to be honest man ma ñëw Gambia war a gis picc yooyu noonu dama faa ragal play sax non duma ko risk I will not even play there possible because gis naa picc yu correct gis naa pitch no more mel gis na feel no more mel so I cannot go back to that lolu dafa daw suma yaram nekku ne dama wax pour like degrade anybody or to degrade the pitches or whatever but to be honest they are not good enough let's just call it a spade they are not good enough lolu mun na jo injury to people life threatening injuries why to be honest tamit Gambia lolu lañ am it's not well kept everything is just like ñolen ngeen play at the end of the day after match la lañ def ci fil yoyu dara after match that's it by next match xanaa maybe su nekkee line si faru ne ñu ñëw ñu peinture, but when it comes to the care of the football pitch, amuñ bagage yi, amuñ nit yi sax, you know, ñoo xam ne dañ xam naka la ñoo tegee care of a pitch. So it's very sad. So Gambia local based players, to be honest, it will be very difficult for you to break into the pitches, you know, into the national team. I mean, it will be very, very difficult if this continues. When you play your home matches, you know, in you know, arenas that are not good, it will affect you. You cannot play at Serekunda East or Manjai and then all of a sudden you are at, you know, at the stadium in Senegal. You will look, sometimes you will faint, you know, you wouldn't even know what's happening. So you have to train this, you have to do this a lot of times, and then it will become part of you. But at the end of the day, you know, unfortunately we are Gambians, you know, we cannot deny that the system has really failed us. Because time, you know, football was one of the best things that I know. Stadium bi su Gambia di play da nga gis ne from tay guddi do de tal nelaw sax, because yaa ngi xam ne 6 o'clock yaa ngi dem stadium, all your food, everything, you're going to get into that stadium by hook or by crook, but you will get a ticket and you will go in. The enjoyment and all of those things, they have taken it away from us. You know, they have taken everything away from us. But just this season, Alpha, you know, mujhe wuta am, because you know amuñ feel. The Gambian story continues, which is amut. You know, be nawetan or super nawetan bi mujhe. So lolu daf leen affect in any way season preparations or not.
Alpha.
Okay, so in terms of preparation, unala won ne fofu daf ñu jox more advantage, but better like I believe amna advantage, amna disadvantage. Okay, amna advantage in a sense na dina la may more time. Yeah, amna advantage in a sense na, because daf ñu gëna jox more time pour ñu prepare. On the side of TMT, alhamdulillah, we started very early suñ pre-season, because ñun bu ñoo start pre-season maybe sa club si bari startuñ toon. And then one thing tamit mooy ne xamoon naa ne su fekkente ne we started playing the league at that point of time, am na teams yu bari yoo xamante ne nii maybe mën na noo gaañ seen play, because they will not have that enough training biñ soxla pour war a mën a dugga pour compete. So extension bi dafa amoon solo torop for the simple fact ne dinañu jox more time ñu prepare. But disadvantage bi fi moo nekkee mooy su fekkente ne GFF are still trying to meet again their standard, how to call it again, comme like fi ñu wax ne ligue bi foofu la war a em. For an example lay joxe rek, maybe ñu ngi programme on ne maybe on the 28th May maybe ligue bi dina jeex. Léegi ni mu latee start nii, what we are fearing is ndax after bi ñu like dajaleel matches yi ba nga xam ne di nga am pour play Saturday, play at Wednesday, play at Sunday, play at Saturday, xam nga comme mu teglante noonu ba nga xamante ne di nga am more issues when it comes to injury, because xam nañ exactly. So dëgg la daf daan mën a am sometimes, but xam nañ ne dina gën a bëri su fekkente ne they still want to meet deadline biñ teg ne GFF League bi foofu la war a jeex. Loolu nag àggaguñ si, maybe they don't communicate that, but dama just anticipate su waree am loolu mooy nekk disadvantage bi. But nu mu latee start ni, of course it's an advantage to every other team, because dina la jox more time nga prepare, dina la gën a jox more time pour sa recruitment yoo def ak sa signing yoo def ñu mën a gel together with the team, because some of them bu pre-season starté sax di nga leen gis si team bi next week nga gis leen ñu move on. So comme loolu laa doon war rek, advantage bi moom bari na as a team, waaye disadvantage bi ñu ngi ko anticipate ne mun naa am. waaye su fekkee ñoom amee na noonu, then obviously loolu dina xam every other team, because ñun xam nañ ne maybe club si they are not equipped enough pour mun a war a mun a am a proper recovery session after every other game pour ñu mun a génnaat seen full body strength bi pour war a mun a am pour delluwaat pour play like full 90 minutes and then being at their best always. So loolu jafe-jafe la fii. So pour ñun league bi nu mu starté, it's a blessing. It gives us more time to prepare, toppatoo waat suñu registration si training bu proper am with our new signing yoo xamante ne am nañ leen but at the end of the day we are hoping ne duñ ñu dajaleel game si like mu ñëw randomly just like that ba nga xamante ne mën naa affect the performance of the players.
Yeah. No, Rix bi loolu la moo ñëw nekka because at the end of the day ñoom tamit foog ñu keep this FIFA window and all that because with the international breaks and World Cup yeeg yuy ñëw understand nga so obviously loolu moom foog mu am foog ñu ñëw pack games yi pour ngeen mun a teel a pare because World Cup mu ngee ñëw am and all of these things when it happens you cannot play your leagues so yeah it will be a disadvantage in that sense obviously dañoo jam pack all of the matches and then maybe dina nekk a disadvantage to you because dina jox more time to other teams for you gonna prepare and then it will be probably a stronger competition when it comes to the first division league. Why Alpha just man finally from me because time be them now man finally from me I just wanted to say this with all of the things that you have said with all of the backroom staff, the technical staff, like the scouts, you have portrayed your team tonight here on the fan zone as the best, as the best team in the Gambia, and of course you have every right. You have every right to say that. You have every right to come here and say all the good things in the world, about your team. But with everything that you have said today, it just tells me that we have a team in the Gambia that is very well structured, a team that knows where their priorities lie, a team that really knows how to develop players, and a team that really knows, when to sell when the time is right, and an administration that is very much supportive to the players and even the families. So with this, man, I just want to say, continue the good work, to you and the technical staff and the administration. This is absolutely beautiful. This is what we want in our country. We want more, TMTs. We just don't want these dormant, teams that have been there for the longest time, but you don't see progress. So, when the GFF starts, I will definitely have my eye on where you are. But based on everything that you have said, the way that you sold your team, I really know that you're winning the league, isn't it?
Why? Alpha different. Why am I?
Wow, with everything, Alpha guy win league be there.
No, man luma buga sa ini not sell way. Boy, jinga pour raise level Gambian football. Boy, it's not that very much difficult. As a human being, sometimes you have to do pressure. Understand? So whole BFF soon they won't self pressure. Guy don't know jinga at buga don't defe magic good. That was the best of GFF division league.
Yeah, I can remember it was very nice.
Yeah, it was nice. People were I'm not know how much they don't nafila rek guy dem play. Ay guy dem setan luma la buga wax moy. You see, I just did a rough calculation here. If I can teams yi ñu nekk di wax ne den FSM because last week the guests that we had then they FSM some players. These people they are also saying that they pay all their players. Now, if you are paying each player $3,000, 22 players, that's 796,000 in a year. Different from your operational you're running.
Season be wow.
Understand? So DFF, one of the reasons you some of this point, guide them beyond especially stadium. Walk on the stadium, walk up past Hamantane. Some of these teams will get tickets. If team you can 10,000 get ticket. That helps. Aside from the monetary value, man dama naan football si nga balaa football balaa nga mën a play paak bi fees understand nga dis ndóo yi nekk di tax ci fële ñu laa yu fële
nga day gën a am spiritual powers.
exactly ko le nga nekk di warm up sax ñu ne nga dégg ñu ne la ne bees ngeen ñëw su digee tere ngeen de understand yow loolu dafa am motivate understand
ak seen woy yooyu noonu woy yu neex yi
waaw waaye soo xoolee si li fi ni Gambia soo xoolee si li fi ni Gambia bi si football yi Gambia international football we had our worst period during the COVID understand even players yi dañ di wax loolu noonu so Gambia ñun si in terms of football ñu ngi profit ba léegi because da ngaa dem seetaan football national league boo xamante ne 5 nit nga faa gis apart from team administration ñoo xamante ne dañ ñëw pour seetaan football understand so pour suñ football Gambia football bi by word of mouth ñëw ne dañ bëgg a def level bi dañ bëgg a def level bi ban effort ngeen nekk di def pour àgg si level boobu
football daal balaa nga reap the reward before you reap the reward obviously you need to sow a seed Gambia nag to be honest you don't want to sow a seed and you want to reap loolu du mën a dem it cannot happen it doesn't really happen anywhere so man at the end of the day gis nga comme noo ko waxee football with fans is everything I wouldn't want to play in an empty stadium loolu moom to be honest loolu yan na ma si yàlla musal play empty stadium
yaa ngi dem ak a ñore léegi ansal Alassane
Alpha déggoon nga sama question bi
waaw maa ngi dem ak waaw mu ne
non ma ne la déggoon nga sama question bi balaa nga doon dem
déedéet ma ne dégguma ko woon
waaw ok dama doon wax nii rek I just wanted to commend you for the good work that you're doing and your team and the staff and everybody that is connected to TMT Football Club these are the kind of owners that we need in the country owners that will take responsibility owners that will invest and owners that will develop player to their full potential gis naa ne tamit you are very much committed to everything that you are doing te loolu is not negotiable because if you want a first division team you should be able to be committed to it man time boobu noonu ma nekkoon Gambia I li amutoon young people that invest and they really love what they do it's coming up now and I am very excited the Gambia have a future in these kind of things owners will come and invest their monies and all that but with everything that you have said Alpha with the backroom staff that you have come up with the good coaches the technical directors with the scouts with the media house you have the communications you have everything like a professional football club so I just really hope everything so I really hope with everything you're gonna win the league this season because I'll be having my eyes on this team because with everything that you have said I really think you are the giant of Gambian football from now on, isn't it? So you're winning the league this season.
Okay. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah, inshallah, Alasa. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Lolo mom, Alasan. If you're,
yeah, because Lofi was Alpha, the fact.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's what we really hope to be, inshallah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we really hope to be. How manda yanang madega nagboba because man I'm finding it a bit difficult to hear you. Yanang madega.
Wah, yung ladega.
Yeah. But for now, Alpha, dapat dem at base. But you probably try a round of, but man, I'll be having my eyes on this team. TMT. You know, it's probably my new team, my new Gambian team. You know, because Alpha has sold me their agenda. So to be honest, it's really nice because man, we come here and talk about Gambian football, and probably a lot of people think, wow, Lego Legi, I can be negative because Gambia Amun Stadium, I talk a lot about that and all that. But no, it's not about negativity, I just want the best for the Gambia because man, mosna nakala stadium nehe, mosna naka comme nga place stadium fancy, ñu dem di la support. Man, I know that ambience. I have done it as a supporter. I have done it as a media personnel. So I know how much I have looked forward to these games. So man, duma ko muna hang sumadom, duma ko muna hang, the people in Gambia that haven't tasted this, So that is the only reason why we talk about the stadium, because that is the only stadium that we have. Unfortunately, we have only one good stadium. It's very sad, so that's the reason why we talk about it. But we just want the best. That's just it.
So Alpha, like answer we are running up.
Yeah, Alpha, Munga just wrap up, right? If you have anything to say that you haven't said before, just in summary, you can just say it, Alpha, before we let you go.
As for na side them na boy.
Boy, side for Alvin lang. See, nagaki after. No la.
Okay, viewers, thank you for joining us this weekend. The program hope to see you guys this weekend with another interesting guest from one of the top teams in football. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, America, Korea, saying. Oh, you know, America, Korea.